Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Antics and Anecdotes. I'm Leonardo.
I'm Ben.
Tommy.
How's it going, guys?
It's going good.
Yeah?
Friday, so, feeling good about that.
It's the weekend.
Yes, sir.
Molto bene.
Beautiful day out, too.
Yeah, it's finally getting a little warmer in San Francisco now. It's
spring weather.
Spring weather.
Yeah, we like.
Yeah, we get
Like,
good.
Tommy, it's the first time in that seat.
I know. I feel like Crit.
Yeah.
He literally
spot.
just has his arms like this every episode.
Yeah.
This is what Crit does.
Like, moves his watch. It's like, oh.
But yeah, we got 3 people this time.
Yeah, we got the 3. Chris couldn't join us, sadly, but he'll be here hopefully next week. And yeah, without further ado, I'm just going to hop right into this just because it's the most interesting thing that I've read. So I was listening to another podcast that I listened to, and they were talking about like human population and stuff. And this guy brought up this experiment called the John B. Calhoun Universe 25 experiment,
Okay.
and it deals with rats.
Think I've heard of this guy?
I think I was explaining it to someone the other day. So pretty much here's the scenario it goes. You got to bear with me. And it's all like an homage to like how humans are overpopulating the earth. So he pretty much made a utopia for mice. In 1972, John B. Calhoun detailed the specifications for his mortality inhibiting environment for mice at a practical utopian built in a laboratory. So every aspect of this universe, everything that he did, it's all contained in one lab. And pretty much the point of this thing was for the rodents to increase their lifespan. He wanted to see if he could like physically increase their lifespan by like having them in this perfect utopia with no harm. They can't get harmed, like nothing. It'd pretty much be like
all
humans.
their needs satisfied.
Like in a sense. Yeah, exactly. All their needs, like food, everything, like mates, all that stuff. Here's where it gets super interesting. I lost my space here. They went through multiple generations. So what exactly happened in Universe 25, past day 315, but after multiple generations of mice being born, population growth slowed more than 600%. I don't know why this thing is messing up right here.
It's slowed. 60%.
Yeah, it slowed down. Mice find themselves born into a world that was more crowded every day, and there were far more mice than there were meaningful social roles, with more and more peers to defend against males. They found it difficult and stressful to defend their territory. So many people, so many mice. They're overpopulating. Normal social discourse within the mouse community broke down, and with it, the ability for mice to form social bonds. Failures and dropouts congregated in large groups in the middle of the enclosures. Their listless withdrawals, occasionally interrupted by spasms and waves of pointless violence. So they'd pretty much just start attacking each other. The victims of these random attackers became attackers themselves. Left on their own and not subject to invasion, nursing females would attack their own young. Procreation slumped. Infant abandonment, immortality soared. Lone females retreated and isolated into nesting boxes on the penthouse level. There's like different structures, so they're just on the penthouse.
That's nuts.
Other males, that's the funniest, a group Calhoun termed the beautiful ones, never sought out sex and fought. They just ate, slept, groomed, and were groomed in a narcissistic introspection. So they pretty much just didn't give a fuck. Elsewhere, cannibalism, pansexualism, and violence became endemic. Mouse society utterly collapsed. They just grew too much, and there's too many mice, and the fact that there's too many mice broke down society as a whole. Even though they had food and all that, they still resorted to cannibalism, and basically every social norm just broke because of overpopulation.
Well, it's crazy that there's like even social norms in like a mice population like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like they're not
yeah.
just
Sorry, I just went on
sticking
a
to
big
their-
spiel there, but like, isn't that wild?
Yeah.
At the end of the height of it, it was over 22,000 mice at the height
What?
of the utopia. And that point was like the peak. And from there was like no recovery.
22,000?
And then pretty much
So-
the whole population dwindled. And by day 560, they all were extinct.
So I feel like that's like, I don't know.
After
I
like
think
a
it
year and
speaks.
a half,
I think
they're
it
all
speaks to the
extinct.
volumes of like legislation and having like a social
Right. Actually having like guidelines.
having governments who like run things and make sure like things are in line. If we didn't have that as a human race, like I do think it would be quite chaotic.
Well, I mean,
Right?
No, you're totally right.
If we don't have laws, if we don't have anything, then like everyone's just like free willing and doing whatever they want.
Yeah.
It just leads to chaos.
Yeah, exactly.
Even most animals like in the animal kingdom have basic laws that they followed.
Yeah.
Based on like what their past ancestors have done.
And if they're overpopulated, then that screws up like the whole ecosystem and all that.
Yeah, but
Like,
how
you
did
know
they
what
get? So they got overpopulated.
So they
by
had-
being
they
together,
started
and then
out-
they were
they
like, shit, way too populated, and then they just went nuts.
Yeah, they started out with like 500
guess.
mice, and they were living perfectly, like this perfect world. And then after
I want to see what the utopia
week
looked
after
like.
week, yeah, it's crazy.
Well, I mean, it's
And
inevitable that we're gonna eventually overpopulate the Earth.
Right, well, yeah.
in this world.
Unless
It
you
was,
can
it was such a
control.
small like
Well, I
area
think-
Yeah.
that like literally rats would be on top of one another.
Well,
like,
the Earth is not that big.
Well, yeah. Also,
It
I'm
is,
pretty sure technically we're already overpopulated the Earth. We've already overpopulated the
Yeah,
Earth.
but imagine in like
it's just harder to see on our
Right,
scale.
but I
Imagine in,
think
like,
I think
1,000 years.
the problem
Yeah, exactly.
is that we're facing now is like overpopulation is a problem, but it's probably going to be us running out of natural resources before we overpopulate the Earth.
unless you can find. I feel like technology will help
Yeah,
remedy the solution a bit. But I think it's
Yeah,
also
definitely,
lifespan. Like
Yeah.
you talk about overpopulation. If everyone died at 50, you wouldn't have a problem with overpopulation.
like how it used to be.
Yeah, but it's the fact that everyone lives to like 90 now.
And we're
Yeah.
living
usually.
longer like each generation.
Yeah, it's like what do you
Yeah.
do?
also because
you know?
medicine
Yeah.
gets better and science gets better and all that.
We're gonna live longer.
Right.
Well, our humans' lifespan has continually increased over
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
Like every generation.
Every
increases.
generation gets longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is wild. But like, where does is it China who restricts how many children you can?
I
have
don't.
now?
I think they got rid of that, but they
Yeah.
I think it was like two children. You can only have two
that
children.
was
Yeah.
a thing. Yeah, because that's what the
and
guy
that's
said
when the whole
after.
like
Yeah.
if you had a girl
You can
like
have, you only
were
can
like
have one. Yeah.
supposed to kill the girl. I'm pretty sure.
What?
Most,
Yeah,
a
bro.
lot of
Like that was
people-
that was
lot
a
of
thing in
people
China.
back
I'm almost
then
positive.
would would
Kill their daughter.
Well, they
Like,
wouldn't
you
do
would-
that necessarily, but they would like give it up for adoption and keep having kids. Till
Yeah,
they
but I
had
mean
a
also
boy.
like you'd
'Cause, like,
want
they
you'd
wanted
want
to
a
pass
boy
the
to
name.
continue the bloodline.
yeah,
know what I
exactly.
mean?
Yeah. No, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure it
It was
was
just
like
interesting.
That is crazy.
it was restricted to like I think 1 or 2 kids.
Nuts.
The best is the best is the beautiful ones who never
Yeah,
sought
that's
out
funny.
sex and fought. They
just
ate,
didn't give a
slept, and
fuck.
groomed.
They were content.
Yeah. Bunch of banjos.
But this, yeah, literally. But that's a total like just scaled down version though of like the Earth when you think about it. Like that little lab,
Right,
that little
but
thing,
the point
penthouse
that Tommy
is the
brings up is
world.
very valid that
yeah.
if they were able to think like us and maybe put in laws and order and stuff like that, they might be able
They
to.
might be better off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they wouldn't at least have chaos.
Right.
If there was
Well, I mean,
if there was
there's-
some governing body holding people accountable for their actions.
What if like in the lab like they just had mouse police like they just enforced their own
It's like a
guys.
little
They had a
jail.
whole court system.
Get in. That'd be
But I
funny.
mean, there's some things about that like that happen with humans today too, like in super impoverished countries. Like obviously not like the cannibalism stuff like that, but like sometimes like you'll have a kid and like people just can't afford to take care of it, so they just like fucking
also, like homeless.
get rid of it. Right, exactly, and stuff like that. I'm thinking more like homeless is like a thing in
Like
like
they were talking about like how like the
a first
the
world
people,
country?
The people who got attacked became the attackers.
Yeah.
Right.
that-
Like that
Yeah,
happens, that happens
did.
in the homeless all the
Yeah.
time. Like you gotta fight for your
the
fucking
main
territory.
aspect of why they got mad is because with more and more like rats, other males found it difficult to defend against their own like territory and like
Right.
bounds and
'Cause
everything.
they're just so- yeah.
And that's what ultimately led to like violence, and then that leads to like chaos, and that leads to
Speaking of homeless people fighting each other, I was driving to work. I think it was like 2 days ago, and I'm going down down Bay Street, about to hit Taylor to go to Fisherman's Wharf, and there's just like 10 to 15 cop cars just all blocking off 3 blocks all the way on Bay Street,
oh shit.
and it's like 5 o'clock in the morning, just like pitch black out, and it's like, oh, someone definitely got fucking murdered today.
Yeah, probably some homeless dude
Yeah,
stole
some
some
tweak,
shit
yeah.
and got
from another homeless guy probably, and
Got
then just
knifed.
fucking
yeah.
Holy
That's probably
shit.
exactly what happened.
Dude,
Yeah,
that's
pretty
like,
nuts.
Pretty crazy though.
I feel like you hear about that more and more. You know, it's like
yeah, there's so much
sad.
violence.
Yeah.
Go to the Tenderloin, sketch. Tenderloin's not a happy place
yeah.
at all.
And they just took us there freshman year.
Yeah, they're like, here, walk around.
Toss
St. Anthony's.
13-year-old, 14-year-old kids into the Tenderloin.
Yeah, dude.
Kind of sketch, but
I mean, yeah.
I mean, the place we were at was like,
Right. I mean,
I
like,
feel
no,
like
one,
most of the people going to the food bank.
no
are
one's
like,
going to fuck with you trying to help you. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly.
Like for my
Here's some
core
food.
project,
yeah.
for my core project, I did Meals on Wheels in Los Angeles, and we would like go into the fucking hood of Los Angeles, and it was some sketch shit. But like you're like in your fucking uniform, so like no one's gonna fuck with you if you're
Yeah.
bringing meals to their grandparents or
Yeah.
something like that. You know.
That's so true.
But yeah, it was crazy. That was a crazy time. I saw a lot of shit there.
Yeah.
I bet.
It was.
Speaking of police, today I was
Oh,
driving,
yeah.
I was driving home.
Oh
Got
god.
some Blue Barn, and here I'll start. I'll give you the date. So
You got to make it into an animated adventure, so you gotta give us
so-
the whole scene.
I all right. So I wake up 6:30 in the morning,
Brush your teeth.
brush my teeth. I got a shit ton of work to do. I've got like 2 8-page papers for my midterm that I was doing, and like I was pretty far behind, and I just cranked it out. I got like a lot of it done, most of like almost all done, and then I go to file to save my midterm that I've been working on, and the Word document just like freezes with the rainbow swirly thing.
The
And
beach
I-
ball of death.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's-
So I had to email my teacher. I was like, look, like, no bullshit. I sent her a picture of like 9 pages for the first one, 2,000 words. I was like, look, like, this is what I've done, but I can't save it. I can't do anything. She's like, oh my God, don't worry about it. You can turn it in late. I was like, thank God.
That's
So then I
fucked.
closed my computer. I was like, screw this. I'm not going to worry about it. I'll open it at home. Hopefully it'll be good to go.
Yeah,
And-
sometimes you just gotta close it and just
Yeah.
let it sit.
Let it sit. And then I was like, okay, whatever. I'm not going to stress. She said I could turn it late, whatever.
yeah.
And then I get Blue Barn, Annie, David, myself, and I'm driving back. And you know when I went through, what is it, Divisadero? No, not Divisadero. The one where you cross through Geary and you pass USF on your right.
Stanion.
No, it's not Stanion. It like goes into the hate. I think it might be
Masonic.
Masonic. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going down Masonic to come home. And
Like where we always go.
yeah,
like,
yeah. And then, you
yeah.
know, instead of going right to go into the park, you just go straight like into the hate almost.
Yeah,
But there's that far right lane that no one uses, and you can like pass up people on the like the right.
Oh
So I-
yeah. In the intersection.
Yeah, so
I always do that.
Yeah,
That's
same.
exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly. So I passed everyone up on the right, and then I go to a red light at Haight. Like it's Haight Street. I'm at a red light, and then like it goes green, and I just kind of like gun it. Not really.
Yeah,
then-
moderately.
Not too bad. And then I turn right. I go down all those little blocks and start going up the hill. And I had no idea I was being trailed by police the whole time. But I hit every stop sign, did everything. And then I like turned right to go into like onto Cole Street. I was going to go that way so I could pop out the backside. You know, the spot I
Yeah.
showed you. I was like, I
Yeah.
like this because you don't have to wait at the other lights. Anyway, right when I get down to Cole Street, I'm like blaring like Kendrick Lamar, all windows down. And the cops just are like, wee. I'm like, no way, bro. Like, I wasn't even like going that fast. Like, I was like, what the hell? I was super confused. And then I pull over and I'm like, how you guys doing? And they're like, good. They're like, we couldn't even catch up to you. We were trailing you for 6 blocks and you were going like 50. I was like, no, I wasn't. I was blaring music. So maybe I was going fast, but I think I was only going like 5 over, guys. And they were like, no way. License and registration. And then the other guy comes up to me and he's like, do you know why we pulled you over? I was like, honestly, no. Like, I hit all the stop signs perfectly. Maybe I was going 5 over, and then he was like,
Yeah.
okay, buddy. Like, giving me a complete attitude. Like, I was like fucking lying. I'm like, okay, fucking asshole. And then I just like shut my trap. And they're like, where's your registration? We take the registration out of the car because the car always gets broken into and people steal your registration. And I didn't know that. So I was like,
Yeah.
Guys, I don't know where the registration is.
Oh my god.
And they like were like, all right, you wait here, and they like go run me up and whatever, and then they came back to the car, and then the guy just like let me off. He was like, yeah, like slow it down. I was like, okay, it didn't go that bad.
What a cocksucker.
And then I just like drove off. So that was my cop scare today. And then I get home.
That's wild.
I get home and I was like, I had to like finish up my midterm and shit, and it was bad. I just.
Did you end up finishing the essay, or is it you still working on it?
No, I force quit it, and then it auto saved.
Oh my fuck, Jesus!
Thank God for autosave.
And then I like because I just like revised it a bit.
Yeah,
did all my stuff and got it done. But yeah, it was a complete scare. It's been a stressful morning.
Yeah,
dude,
well, that's happened to me
from like a lost midterm to getting pulled over. I'm like, Jesus
that's
Christ,
just terrible.
like, what is going on right now?
They couldn't write you up in a sense because like
they didn't
there's
tag
nothing-
me at a speeder.
That's what
they
I'm
just
saying.
thought I was going.
That's
fast.
what I'm saying. Like they can't
They're
write
just
you
being
for an
fucking
arbitrary
cocksuckers about
number.
it.
Yeah,
so like at that point,
I was like, give me a
nothing-
speed. I was like, no. Like,
they could have been like you ran that stop sign, but they would have been lying.
No, yeah, and then he was like, I was like, yeah, I hit all the stop signs, and he was like, he like said something, and he was like, what do you think's worse, going fast or hitting all the stop signs? I was like, well, I think running stop signs could be equally as dangerous as going faster, and he was like, huh. I was like,
Yeah.
what do you mean?
Yeah.
He was like, what do you think is more dangerous?
He
'Cause
just
he
said
thought I was
nothing
going to be
else
like
to do.
going fast. I was like, well,
Yeah.
running stop signs could be dangerous too. And he was
What
like,
if he just came up to him and he was like, "Are you coming fast?"
how you coming fast?
I would
I would
die.
have been like, my boy,
You with the car?
Yeah.
you see me? How you coming fast?
What if it was someone we knew? Like if one of us became a cop, like Ben, like in 5 or 10
Bro.
years, and then he pulls you over. Tommy, how you coming fast?
That'd be hella
shit,
funny.
Ben.
Sydney Holtman.
Yeah.
I got pulled over one time and got let off because the cop knew my family.
Yeah, that happened to me too.
Yeah,
once.
it's crazy.
Cop knew my uncle Mark. He's like, yeah,
It's
this is Mark.
fucking, it's fucking dumb. He's like, his
high
last name was
class.
like, "Are you related to?" I'm
Yeah.
just like, "Yep." He's like,
Yeah,
"All right, have a good day." Like,
that's so
fucking
cool.
go.
That's money.
Yeah, city cops are pretty loyal, man. They're
Well, they also like pretty much all grew up here,
yeah,
and so
that
and like
too.
if you have a family that's been here a while, chances are they've ran into your family and know them.
I got
Yeah,
lucky
exactly.
getting pulled over by the hate cops, dude. Those guys that patrol hate, they're chill
they
dudes.
deal with so much shit.
Yeah.
all day
they deal
long.
with so much shit. I think me going 5-10 over is like the least of their
Yeah.
worries.
Yeah,
They just wanted to tell me
they
to
were just
slow
busting
down.
your balls about it.
Yeah.
yeah. That's a better cop to be pulled over than like I feel like Peninsula or Marin or something. You know,
Marin
I feel
cop.
like there it's like you're like, oh my god.
I mean, honestly, I've been pulled over, not like for speeding or any but just like I've been rolled up on is what I should say from cops quite a bit in Marin, but most of the time they're
They're
they're really chill. Like even when I got like my worst rap in Marin, like they were super cool guys.
Yeah.
Like
They've been there. They know.
they smoked me for sure, but they were like cool about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as long as you're just like respectful to them,
Yeah.
and you're not like mouthing
Right,
off, like,
right.
you're good to go.
Exactly.
like-
They would just want to like feel like they're like doing something. They're like in charge or whatever.
Yeah. Well,
My
yeah.
heart
gotta give them
dropped
that.
though. I was like,
Oh, dude,
shit.
it's
No, it's the worst.
always.
Like I literally,
Any-
like, I hear
anytime, yeah.
whoop, and then the lights. I was like,
It's the most disheartening thing, bro. It's
Like,
Yeah,
no
you
way.
almost like there has to be like if you put yourself in an MRI machine during that moment, like your body, you just see it tense up probably like tenfold.
yeah, if the Apple Watch, if you had your beats per minute on, your heart would be
Yeah.
like
skyrocketing.
Yeah,
skyrocketing.
literally.
It'd be nuts. But yeah,
It's no fun. No fun to be pulled over by the cops.
Speaking about like cops and mafia too, I was looking up some articles for the podcast today, and a mafia fugitive was caught after his YouTube cooking show like accidentally revealed himself.
well, yeah, he blurred out his face. But
Yeah.
they identified him by his tattoos on his arm.
Exactly.
He was an Italian mobster, like in like Italy mobs.
Yeah, he
Really?
was
Yeah,
like
like,
from like Rome
from,
or
like,
something.
Italy, yeah.
yeah.
Really?
The tagline though is the funny. Is the first sentence: "A mafia fugitive couldn't take the heat, so he went to the kitchen."
Wait, so did he flee from Italy or was he still in Italy?
I think he fled. I think they caught him in some other country.
he was hiding from national authorities for alleged drug trafficking, and he was tracked down and arrested in the Dominican Republic on this Wednesday. But it doesn't say like.
Oh, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah, he had been like posting all these
I
like
would
cooking
be so
videos on YouTube.
pissed.
Yeah.
Dude's like, I have no idea if he was a bad guy or whatever, but like, he's just fucking living his life, cooking in the Dominican Republic, like chilling.
But
like
he's a bad mom. Like, just wear a long sleeve, bro.
Right.
Like,
Well,
if you're gonna post videos online, right? Have like the. Like, no,
Yeah,
like,
you
how
gotta.
how do you not know that you're being looked for?
he's just in a
like,
Guido tank top, just in an
and he's
apron.
probably got
just
these like
fucking-
super obvious tattoos on his
yeah,
arms.
bro.
Yeah,
where
you
they're
got to
like-
be wearing like long sleeves and like gloves.
Bro, that's
Yeah.
nuts.
And,
So
like, you
what?
don't even have
The
to put your face
FBI
in it.
equivalent of Italy just like tracked him down and
Yeah. It said it just took like a lot of different counties to like verify and recognize him through that like through his thing. But
well, I guess this guy was probably a pretty shitty dude if he was getting that close attention paid to him.
I think he was like a drug trafficker and like
yeah,
probably some other shady shit. But
they said that the law enforcement officials were clued in that the YouTube channel belonged to.
Do you guys ever like
him
thought about
because of like the blurred face and everything?
like when you guys were younger? Did you guys ever been like, I'd love to join the mob?
I don't know. I mean, like
I
in
don't
movies,
know.
it always looks cool, but then at the end of the movie, you're like,
Well,
okay,
yeah.
maybe not.
Yeah,
I
right,
just don't,
'cause
I
I was
just
like,
don't
"Come
like
on."
the idea of like making one wrong move and getting fucking killed
Yeah.
for it. You know, like by your own people too.
Right,
They're like,
right,
fuck,
right,
he's too
right,
much of a liability. Let's
Yeah.
fucking kill him. Like that would suck. Like if your own boys were like, all right,
Gotta whack him.
sorry Ben, you're getting whacked.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, please.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm fine.
Please, Banjo, don't.
Yeah, the only way out of that one is you go to the FBI and then you're fucking moving houses every 2 years
Yeah.
in witness protection.
So what was cool? I forget what his name. You guys seen the Leonardo DiCaprio movie when he's like the pilot?
Catch Me If You Can.
Yes. So
Oh,
that
yeah.
guy is a real guy.
Real guy, yeah.
Yeah, he did like a motivational thing at David's company Octa.
Oh, really?
I thought
Yeah.
he was like
He-
still in jail.
No, he's a motivational speaker. He goes all around the world and talks to people. But dude, the guy was a genius.
Yeah.
And,
Oh yeah. He's so yeah.
Yeah.
like that's so cool. He was a criminal. He did all that shit, and then the FBI was like, "Okay, you're so smart. Come work for us."
Yes, literally.
Like,
Oh yeah, at the end of
got-
the movie, that is what happens.
yeah,
Leonardo
he got let
DiCaprio
off
goes
the
and
hook
works for him.
completely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts, and like that happens. That happens with hackers, where like
Yeah.
hackers,
I was gonna
the
say
best
that. I remember
hackers in the world, the FBI will be like, okay, you can face 20 or 50 years in prison, or just come work for
come
us.
work for us.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I'll just come work for you guys.
Yeah, just go, yeah.
And live a normal life.
Make a good living, and yeah.
Yeah, you
don't
probably
have
make a
to-
decent
yeah.
living, and like you get to like
You're the best at what you do.
you're the best at what you
pretty
do.
much. Yeah.
So like no other hackers are gonna be able to get by you. You'll be
That'd
like,
be-
oh, look
I-
at these crooks.
I
like,
would
trying
want to
get
see
by.
that like a one-on-one hack off.
Yeah,
Like,
I'd love
bitch.
to see that.
just ripping it.
Getting
I
through
I
the
wonder what
firewall.
actual hacking
Tonight.
entails. If it's just like just going into the code, or if it's just like
That stuff is
I
so
don't know, dude.
complicated.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. How do you learn it? Is my
How do
I
you?
don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
where like even
I think I'm assuming it has to do. I think it has to do with the code in some way. Like you have to be a pretty good coder in order to hack. I would assume.
yeah, 100%.
But
Yeah.
But like I'm saying, like there's no YouTube tutorials on how to hack.
well, I mean, you go to the fucking dark web if you really wanted to.
Yeah, but isn't the FBI like all over that shit?
Not really.
Huh.
I've been.
What
on,
even is
I've
the
been on the
dark
dark
web?
web before. I mean, like it's the dark. Like I
Yeah,
mean, you can
can
go to
I
like
and look up the dark.
you can go to
can I
the
go on it
fucking
right
no.
now?
You have to get it's a browser called Tor browser, and like I used it to like illegally download like music software and stuff like that, and like a lot of people do, but you can go into like fucking dark places. Like you can fucking hire hitmen for people and like shit like that.
That's wild.
And like it's called the dark web for a reason because it's a fucked up place. But
yeah.
I'm
How is this application able to be downloaded? Like,
Tor browser. I think you literally just download on Safari. That's how I downloaded it. I'm
how
pretty
is
sure.
that not like blocked by like?
I don't know.
FBI,
I
you
don't know. I kind
That'd
of
be-
forget exactly how. There's definitely multiple steps into doing it. I think you have to get a VPN first to download
Yeah,
it.
yeah. You definitely got to get a VPN.
Um,
Yeah. Would you rather
yeah.
be in the like? Would you rather go on or like be a part of the dark web for a year, or be a part of the black market for a year and like regularly do that?
Isn't the black market?
I mean,
like,
it's. I feel like it's kind of the
black-
same thing at this
dark
point.
web? Can't you just like?
yeah, I guess you're
buy
right.
Dude,
shit off the dark
but dude,
web that-
imagine,
I guess
like-
you're right.
technically the black
Like when I
market?
think black market, I think like literally
you're right,
drugging
yeah.
people, stealing their fucking organs, and that's what I think.
Like the
that's what I think
Taken
of.
movies.
yeah.
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 Or like, I mean, I've heard like actual fucking stories from real life. Like I know people that have been
Well, yeah, Dirk's buddy
Really?
was
Yeah.
in Mexico. He like traveled back by himself, and he took a cab to the airport, and the cab set up like a hitman to take him. He ended up in Mexico City. They found him in a bathtub, completely gutted.
Yeah.
Because they take your organs for like their family members who are dying. So if they need a new liver, they'll be like, oh, U.S. college boy, alone in an Uber.
Who probably doesn't have the
Stop
best
him,
liver.
And then
Dude, that's fucked up.
yeah, so fucked
Oh
up.
yeah, it's gnarly.
And like the cab drivers are in on it. They get paid for it.
That's why like certain places in Mexico.
Mexico's not a good place.
I would say a lot of places in Mexico are fucking sketch. Like never ever be by yourself.
I don't like Mexico. Like I'd rather go like Hawaii or somewhere like tropical.
Oh my
like,
God.
I know I can be safe. Like Puerto Rico, not the safest, but it's at least a U.S. territory.
True.
Like you know that.
Yeah.
Like Mexico, there are zero rules. Everyone like it's so corrupt. Like even
But that's
just never- you just
that's
never
also
know.
part of the appeal of it. You know what I mean? The zero rules part. Like,
yeah. But my dad got. I mean, there's not zero rules though. Like,
right.
You can get
right,
caught
right.
with like weed
and you can
go to jail. For, like,
or like people are gonna
20
set you
years.
up and you can
Really?
get fucked.
Yeah. Yeah. But like my dad and his buddy got roofied when it was my mom, my dad, and another couple. They were in Mexico at like some really nice resort. And they all ordered margaritas. My mom and the other woman got no salt on their rims. My dad and the guy got, you know how they put salt on the rims?
Yeah.
They got salt on the rims.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me this.
And they were completely drugged. Like
That's nuts.
they didn't have a single drink. They had one margarita, and Big Dave was like, like just speaking gibberish. Like couldn't even like stand up straight. And my mom's like, "What is going on right now?" Like both of them were just completely knocked out, and it was at like it was like some like really nice hotel. So like that just like the cartels are involved with like everything.
Everything.
Like they
Yeah,
pay off.
yeah.
They pay off everyone.
No, I know, dude. That's why whenever I tell my mom, she's going like whatever those places, like even Cabo and stuff. Like
Sketch.
stay at the Four Seasons. Like
Bro,
even
Cabo's
if you
like-
stay at the
even
Four
there,
Seasons,
yeah.
like you never know.
No,
Like
you
if you're
don't.
going to freaking Puerto Vallarta, wherever you are during the day,
Yeah.
you're leaving the resort. Like it's just you never know.
I would not want to leave the resort. That's why you want to do an all inclusive. But even in
exactly.
that case,
Even
it's
if
still-
like,
you're not-
especially
still
if you're
not
like a
safe.
group of ladies going out, like if it's all us guys,
That's-
and maybe
yeah.
that's one thing. But if you're like a couple like 50-year-old like women, like
or just
or, like
any group of
20-year-old girls,
bro.
like any of that.
Yeah,
it's
that's
just- yeah.
I would not want my daughter.
It's just the
going
chances
to-
are way higher. With
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
I
sadly,
feel like it only gets
Sadly.
more dangerous as the years go on.
What, as
Yeah.
an older person.
No, I mean like just the sketchiness of Mexico is probably
Yeah,
increasing day by day.
Yeah.
You know?
which sucks because Mexico would be so cool if it was safe.
Oh my god,
It's just so not
it'd be
safe.
fucking ridiculous.
It's like
Like
amazing.
Baja, California, and Mexico, like that strip there and everything is beautiful. Where Cabo is and that whole coast.
I don't think I've ever been
It's
to
like great. That's like probably the
Cabo.
safest like area.
Cabo,
you know?
No, Cabo is not the safe area.
But I'm
at
saying
all.
like on that like border and stuff.
Maybe I don't know.
I
I don't
mean,
know enough about.
I've
it.
been Spencer Becerra has a
Yeah.
house in Tulum, which is like on the east side of Mexico.
But Tulum's pretty nice.
I think Tulum because there's not. It's getting there nowadays, but like, 5-10 years ago there was like no tourism there, so like that's why it wasn't
Yeah.
as sketch. Like
Yeah.
I feel
Now
like
they
the
know they're
cartel
tourists.
targets
It's
places with a
wherever
lot
the
of
tourists are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because they make money off of sending people in ambulance rides to the hotel or to the hospital. So like if they drug
Really?
yeah, if they drug someone,
That's
the
absurd.
ambulance gets paid like $1,000 for them to take you to the hospital, and they'll give $500 to the cartel for drugging the person. So it's like a loop
Yeah.
where they're like, all right, we'll drug people, you take them, hand us half of what they pay to get to the hospital, and like I think the hospitals are in on it too. So like whatever they charge,
Everyone's in on it, bro.
it's wild. It's like this whole fucking drug ring where everyone makes money off of
I would
just
assume
getting
that like
drugged.
Yeah.
the cartel makes more money than the
That's-
fucking government in Mexico.
Probably they basically are the government in
Right.
Mexico.
Right, that's what I'm
Government in Mexico is like non-existent.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Like you can almost equate it to like Fidel Castro, like in the past, like if that would ever be a thing in the future. But I don't think like dictators will like be a thing anymore these days. But you never know.
I don't think a dictator in
North Korea.
Mexico would be bad. Actually,
Maybe.
I think it could probably be useful.
Bro, he would get fucking murked.
Yeah.
There's
So
probably
quick.
gonna be someone watching this is just gonna ream us for talking about Mexico. So I'm sorry if we offended anybody.
Suck me.
Sorry, it is a political shit show. Right?
I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's reality.
I'm gonna read this real quick.
Nothing but fix.
This episode of Antics and Anecdotes is sponsored by Coming in Clutch. Are you a petrol head? Is your first memory stealing the family station wagon? Did you watch every episode of Top Gear 16 times over? Well, then make sure to check out Coming in Clutch. It's a new age podcast about car culture, car news, and notable guests from the automotive industry. Hosted by the Speedy Guidi, that bast, and the LA Car Spotter. These dudes dig cars more than they need air. Make sure to give them a listen on Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever you get your podcasts from. And they're also available to watch on YouTube. Thank you guys for sponsoring us. Tommy, move your thing a little closer.
Ragazzi.
Yeah. Last time I was listening to one of them, and like every now and then you would say something, and it would like cut out completely. It was like muted. I was like, what the hell? Like,
Yeah, because when I look like this way too, it's like completely away from
Side
the
of
mic.
does not really get it.
from the mic.
Yeah. Ragazzi.
Well, is anything else interesting happened to you guys this week, or last week, or the week before? We haven't been together in a couple weeks, man. Anything crazy?
I don't
Or you
know.
just move on?
I miss going to a movie theater though.
Yeah.
When you think,
Yeah, I do
like,
too.
is that a thing that we can do nowadays?
I think I saw that in June. June, everything's opening up again. You guys saw that, right?
I thought it was April.
No, there's like zero. What do they call them? Like the orange tiers. There's no more tier thing come June.
Really?
It's all open. Yeah, the SF Chronicle posted it. They're
You
like,
still gotta wear masks, I assume, just like out and about.
Well, I
yeah,
mean,
maybe. I don't know. It depends.
I'm assuming they're getting rid of the tiers because they assume that there's going to be this many people vaccinated by that time. So they're not going to have to worry about it.
You can still catch it though.
Right. Yeah.
spread it if you are
You can
vaccinated.
you can transmit it.
Yeah. But it just won't be as severe for you.
Yeah, I mean you're
Yeah.
like 95% protected from it. Yeah.
And Pfizer has protection over like the other variants as well.
Oh,
I wish it
really?
was like
But Johnson &
100%.
Johnson doesn't? Leo got Johnson & Johnson yesterday. Felt like shit today.
Really?
Yeah.
I did both Pfizers. I had Pfizer.
I felt
When was mine? 2 days ago. The second.
your second dose?
Second dose, fine. Yeah.
I
no
felt
symptoms.
kind of shit. My day 2, I went to work and like around 8 a.m. I like needed to throw up for like an hour. I didn't actually throw up, but I like felt shitty enough to
Damn.
throw up. But
I'm
besides
scared
that,
to
I mean,
get
like
it,
it affects everyone differently.
We went out to dinner with Alex Farr. He took us out to
Oh,
dinner.
yeah?
But that was the night that I had my vaccine.
Oh yeah, how did you feel that night? I forgot to
Well,
ask.
I mean, I drank, so maybe that's what subdued the side effects
Yeah.
quite a bit.
But you didn't feel more drunk or like
No, and then
Okay,
in the
okay.
morning I woke
That's
up and
good
I
to
was
know.
like, I just had a sore arm
Yeah.
and a little bit of a headache, nothing else.
The headache got me too.
Yeah,
I
but then I
definitely
took some
had the
Tylenol
headache.
and I was fine.
Yeah.
And that was that.
I need to schedule mine. Like
Yeah, Leo felt
Soon.
like
You
Leo
should get
felt
it,
like
like,
shit
soon.
today.
I think
He
they're
was like
opening it
rocked.
up.
That's what I've heard. Like Johnson & Johnson, because it's one dose, so it's like
it's just a lot.
That makes a lot more sense because
Probably
like
just packs a
the
punch.
first dose for Pfizer is like obviously less, and then they kind of put more in, but you're already attuned to it in your body that like it's not going to fuck you up that bad.
Yeah,
for
no,
most
I
people.
wonder what
It also,
reasoning
it
is
also
between
depends on
those.
how your body builds antibodies.
Right.
Because like some people are
Yeah.
more adaptable to the first dose. Like I didn't have any side effects on the first one.
No, neither
Maybe
did I.
that's because my body was just like taking it all in, creating antibodies for it.
Yeah, I felt fine after the first one. I just had a sore arm for like a day.
Same. But yeah, for the most part, I've had no side effects, which
Bro,
is pretty cool.
It was funny. The day after I got my second one, I had a pretty fucking sore arm, and I got it on my left arm.
Mhm.
Went to
Yeah,
the gym,
same.
Went to the gym, hooped, fucking balled out, bro. It was
Really?
It was
That
nuts.
vaccine
it was,
shot.
It was weird, bro. Fucking my nanobites were going crazy, bro.
That's sick.
I was trying to look up why the Johnson Johnson is just one vaccine, but
Well, it's probably just
or
because
one shot.
like you're with the Pfizer, it's a lower dose on the first one, so your body can build the antibodies, and then by the second one, it's a higher dose, but you already have the antibodies, so you're not gonna get as fucked up. With Johnson & Johnson, if you haven't been exposed to it yet, then you have no antibodies for it, and they're gonna give you a pretty fucking high dose, enough to make you.
Yeah.
I actually don't think it's. I think it's antigens.
I forget the difference.
May
at this
stand
point.
corrected, but search up antigen. I think it's an antigen.
also the
Maybe it's antibodies.
Johnson Johnson the vaccine deliveries are plummeting because I guess companies and organizations don't want to like get that strain of the.
Yeah, they want the Pfizer.
That's
well, yeah. I mean, also
it's
it's like kind of controversial because I think they use fetal cells for it. So that's why
antigen's a toxin or other foreign substance which induces an immune response to the body.
Yeah, so I think that's what it is.
Antigen vaccine.
I think antibodies is what's happened when you're
antigen
actually infected with something.
Yeah.
Infection causing microbes and the vaccines designed to combat them have portions of proteins called antigens.
Yeah.
These antigens stimulate a number of cells in the immune system.
Yeah. So I think it's
called... you're right.
The antigens are what go into your body, and then what comes out of it is antibodies.
Yeah.
Based on
antibodies
how your body reacts to the proteins
Yeah.
induced into your system.
That's pretty wild.
Organic chemistry, baby.
Yeah, I took a history of epidemics course, and I learned all about that shit. So cool. Well, not really cool, really bad.
Interesting.
I mean, it is.
Lots of death.
It is interesting, though.
It's something that we're never gonna solve.
Yeah.
Like, it is something that we'll always have to combat.
Right, because,
over time. There'll be a new coronavirus, or it won't even be called coronavirus. It'll be something new in like 50,
People have said that, the flu could just fucking turn into something gnarly and wipe us all out.
Totally. Yeah. Anything could.
Yeah.
Like, anything has...
The flu is different every single year, too.
Microbes were the first things on Earth. Before any animals, any plants, anything, microbes, extremophile microbes were the first thing to inhabit our Earth. And they have been like just forever evolving to become more and more deadly.
I don't know how we haven't all died yet from
because we're also evolving with them.
Because we've evolved. Yeah, we evolved with them.
And at this point, our brains are pretty fucking smart, so we can.
Yeah, and it's different. Like there's deadly microbes in like South Africa, like in like tropical regions, way deadlier microbes than there are like per se in the United States. Like you know, like it just depends on regions. Colder regions, harder to find deadly microbes.
Yeah, they can't.
Humid, hot regions,
a lot
of them. Lots of plants, lots of like crazy animals. Like that's where you get fucked. Yeah. But like that's how it's been over time. Like the first humans ever out of like they were like Neolithic Africa or whatever. Mm-hmm. I forget what it's called. They had to leave and go to Europe because one, they were hunting big game, or they ran out of big game to hunt, so they needed to go and find more big game, so they went north.
Big game.
But also because, the big game.
Two tigers.
No, but also because they were just getting smoked by, I think it's called the sleeping disease. It's Tsetse flies or whatever. They come,
yeah.
It kills like cows and stuff, but it transferred over to humans, and it was just smoking the whole entire population. So they're like, let's get the hell out of here. And then they went north, and then Europeans started to come back.
On and on and on. And then and then they went north, and it's a colder region, so
But isn't that crazy?
They slowly adapt to that, and their bodies change and stuff like that.
You guys know
isn't
about
that crazy that like the human... I think that's the craziest part, that our human history has been determined because of microbes.
Yeah.
It's not.
Have you guys heard of the Sentinelese Island? Off of India.
It's the ones that are the cannibals that don't allow anyone there?
Yeah. It's like a group of people, like 100, 200 people
completely untouched by humanity.
And they don't know what anything is. they're literally, you can't go to them because we'll give them
people have tried to go there and they get fucking murdered.
Is it like a tribe?
It's like what the Native Americans were when the Europeans came over.
Where is it again?
Smallpox.
Sentinel Islands, I think.
It's like right off of India. Like right at the bottom left, right near like kind of Taiwan and stuff.
No one's allowed to go there.
People have tried to go there and talk to people, and they literally get murdered.
They'll throw like
those
spears
the cannibal
and
people?
stuff.
Yeah,
those are the cannibal tribes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
and
there's pictures of them. If people will like fly cameras towards them.
Well, I thought there was one guy who went and like interviewed that tribe.
No, that's a different one.
Okay,
no,
fucking Steve-O
you can't go to this tribe.
Steve-O interviewed a cannibal tribe in like Africa or something. Yeah,
that's nuts.
Fucking crazy. But this is like the most extreme of it.
This island's like
they live on
cannibals.
Too.
Yeah, they're cannibals. But that's just like one part of that.
Indigenous
they're just
people
completely untouched by humanity, by technology, or like the Western civilization.
Could you imagine taking one of those persons to like New York or fucking like
they would die. Because their body wouldn't be used to, they would get the disease right away.
True. They die from
They
the fucking
lived in
cold.
isolation, like voluntary isolation, and defended their island from people.
So people have found, like, people exploring in like the Amazon have found tribes that are practically the same thing as them. Like probably in the 60s or whatever, when they were like people were like just trying to look for they were looking for the city of gold, but discovered Machu Picchu. They discovered tribes that were untouched by humanity and stuff like that. Actually, I don't know when Machu Picchu was discovered.
That's wild. Like imagine that. Like,
but
Probably during, where is that?
it's in
Mexico.
Peru. It's in Peru. Yeah.
like
been
imagine
there.
that island though.
It's
Like,
probably when the Spanish.
Yeah.
I think it was later than that. I'm pretty sure a white guy discovered Machu Picchu, or rediscovered it, or whatever you want to call it.
How did they wipe out? Disease?
I couldn't tell you. Maybe.
imagine.
There's
should know this
still
as a history.
Incans around.
Yeah, well, come on.
There's still
I don't
There's
think I
still
studied Peru.
there's still Incan bloodline around.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Well, okay. Yes, the Incan Empire was smoked by the Spanish,
Yeah.
and what disease? Smallpox,
Okay.
because the Spanish brought over smallpox. Yeah, it was crazy. And then the Aztecs thought it was like in their, like,
Well, they thought they were gods.
yeah. It was in their, like, their ancestors used to preach that there would be like a white man that comes and like saves their whole entire civilization at some point in the future. And when the Spanish came, they like embraced them with open arms, not
And they
knowing they
stole
were
all
there
their
to
gold
just
and killed them all.
them over.
Yeah. What the fuck?
And they gave them smallpox, and basically they all died from smallpox. But the Aztecs and
Conquistadors.
yeah, they were like crazy good warriors, and they would have smoked the Spanish, regardless of the Spanish having guns. They would have absolutely murked them. They had numbers on them too. Like they would have just smoked them. And then disease.
Silent killer.
Yeah. Same thing.
but
Same thing with
imagine
Native
those-
Americans in America. They got blankets, and this was right when the knowledge of vaccines came out. So a lot of the Europeans were vaccinating themselves, like putting small amounts of smallpox into their, like they'd get smallpox pus, and they'd cut themselves a little bit and put it in. That was their vaccine. So they would inoculate themselves with smallpox, and then when they went to North America, they like infested all these blankets and stuff, and went to the Native Americans and acted like they were giving them gifts, and they took in the.
I feel like they probably. Actually, I feel
No,
like
I think it was a biological warfare essentially.
You think so? Like they
in,
did it on
in
purpose?
history books, they label it as first, like one of the first, other than Spanish, first biological warfare tactics in North America towards the Native Americans, and that was so that they could just like completely
Yeah,
diminish
but
their
how would
population.
they know they would be allergic? I feel like they. Yeah.
No,
maybe the
'cause they
first-
know-
Well, it's just that
they know how
haven't
deadly
been,
the
they haven't
disease
been
is.
introduced to the amount of germs.
because the
that they've been
Europeans
introduced to us.
had terrible smallpox. Fucking
Yeah.
they got smoked. Like the whole, I think a bunch of the royal family in England got like killed off.
Well,
by
smallpox was fucking gnarly. It would literally just.
The bubonic plague.
like the princes, like the king, the princes, like princesses, they all like died from smallpox. So there was no like bloodline ancestry to pass on. So they're like, we got to fix this.
the chef's taken over. He's
Yeah.
the bloodline.
Yeah, Sergiano.
Yeah, Sergiano. Just imagine that last little thing, then we'll switch it up. Imagine that island though. The island I was bringing up. Imagine them now like seeing planes fly by.
I wonder if they have.
They would be like,
before.
"What the fuck is that?"
I
There's
wonder
a
if they-
big bird.
I
Because
wonder
they
if
don't know what
have
any of that
before.
is.
There's a big bird.
Yeah, but
big, loud bird.
it's just be wild. That'd be wild.
They must have seen planes, maybe really
That's-
high
that's
in the
what I'm
sky.
They probably
yeah,
have, but I'm
yeah.
saying, what do you think they think? Like,
Maybe it's a god.
yeah,
I don't know. They probably have zero explanation. They're probably like, what the hell?
they're looking.
Yeah,
up,
I
they're
wonder
like,
what they like.
who
they come from. You know, like I wonder.
South.
I wonder what
West.
offshoot
Yeah.
of civilization they come from.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's interesting. Maybe their own.
literally,
That'd be
never been
fucking
sure.
crazy. That'd be insane if
They've
like
never been.
they settled
fucked
there
with.
thousands of years ago and then it just.
That's what I don't get though. How like during like colonial years when everyone was expanding and trying to gain new land, how did they not get messed with?
it said they
They got
defended
lucky,
their
I guess.
island from invaders
Really?
for like hundreds of years.
So maybe they were just like really good fighters.
Yeah, they got some crazy shit on that
They're
island.
definitely
probably.
How can you beat like guns and horses though?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Cannons,
I feel like-
ships with cannons.
I feel like I'm pretty sure their islands aren't the craziest things. They're not like big islands.
So it's probably a small
No,
island.
they
and they're
live
like,
off
we don't
literally
really
one
want that.
island.
If you're gonna try to fucking kill us, why are we gonna fuck with you? If you're
Well, if
just
you're a-
this tiny plot of land,
Yeah, and if you're a big colonial power, you're looking for natural
right,
resources.
exactly. So that's why that's,
trade.
that's
Yeah,
probably
they're
why
not
they're
going to go and be like, hey, well, fuck.
because it's
you.
like
Yeah, they're
it's like
probably like,
it's like an archipelago. Like it's just a bunch of small little dotted pieces of land that you're not.
That,
gonna,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, a little 15 minutes left. Let's get into some $1 million butt.
Let's do it.
Do it. Let's do it.
Do it.
All right, guys. First scenario, you get $1 million, but these ones are kind of weird this week. I couldn't really think of it.
I thought of a good one the other day, but I
Let me know if you think of it. $1 million, but you have to own and take care of 100 chickens for the rest of your life. You can dedicate a land or a spot to them. You can have someone like feed them and take care
100?
of them. But you got to have a spot. You got to have 100 chickens. And for the rest of your life, you got to take care of those chickens. If like one dies, you like get another or whatever. But you would literally have to just own and take care of 100 chickens.
So if one dies, you gotta get one more, so you're at 100.
Yeah, let's say that they'll procreate. So like you'll never have to go and buy more.
Well, then you're gonna
chickens.
have like fucking like 200 chickens.
No. They'll just be at the 100. They'll just you won't.
Well, no,
want,
you just
they
kill-
won't procreate.
you
if
kill
you
the
don't-
father,
kill
and
the
mother.
plum-
You'll
No, you
segregate
kill the mother,
you'll
not the
segregate
father.
the male and the female.
guess
They're in two
depends
different
on what
pens,
type
so
of
they won't
breeds you got.
procreate unless you want them to.
Okay.
You can hire someone to like do that.
I
whatever,
just
but
thought of that. Do you think rooster meat and chicken meat are different?
Roosters seem gross.
I've never had
I
a
think their
rooster.
meat's different though.
Yeah, right. Because they're the same type of family.
That's
right?
what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Some people probably eat rooster. I'm sure that's a
I've
thing.
never thought about that. Every chicken we've eaten,
I've never thought about
is
that either.
Probably
I
a
have to
female.
cook an old rooster or hen. It just looks like it just looks the same.
Okay, so it looks good.
Like it looks like the exact. They look the same.
I bet you it's good. Wow, that's interesting. I never even
I
thought about eating a rooster.
That just came to my mind.
Yeah.
$1 million, but yes, I would do it. Cause
Yeah.
yeah,
It's kind of fun.
yeah,
you know?
it is. And then you get fresh eggs all the time.
That's what I was thinking too.
So,
a lot
like,
of protein
You
coming
get,
out of
like
them.
all the eggs. You don't ever have to buy eggs again. You just get them like
Yeah, you
fresh.
You just have a bunch of like.
And you have like a chicken caretaker come by and
Yeah.
do whatever. Yeah, I'd do
Okay,
that.
we also
start selling your eggs.
We
make a
also were
second
totally
source of
wrong on
income.
that.
Oh yeah, that too. So you get $1 million. You put it into creating your egg business.
most
Establish
people.
a nice egg business.
Yeah, literally.
Get in the industry.
Egg à la flamme.
Egg a la flamme.
Most people mean hen when they say chicken. Hen means a female. Rooster means male.
Right,
So we've
right.
had rooster before.
What?
Hen is a female. Rooster means male. A male chicken is
I don't
considered
know
a
if we've had rooster.
cockerel before your way.
But roosters are the ones with the little red.
Right, but
After
also
1 year, he is considered a rooster.
But does he
A
get
male
after
chicken is considered a cockerel before 1 year of age. After 1 year, he is considered a rooster.
and they get that little red thing?
But my thing
Yeah.
is,
Chickens get
Little
that?
my thing is, if you're a guy that breeds chickens for food,
Females.
well, so if you breed chickens for food, okay. Well, now that I'm
I don't
talking this
know.
through, but okay, so let's say you start with one male and one female, and you're breeding them for food. Obviously, you're going to keep that one male, but if the female gives birth to a baby boy, and you probably just feed it regularly, right, and then have that fucking killed,
Have the boy killed.
right? Because you already have a male,
Yeah,
or do you
it's-
keep it? You know what I mean?
No.
You
You,
know what I'm
probably
saying,
kill
though?
the older male.
I mean, it just depends like what you're trying to do. If you're trying to like make a
Probably
bunch,
kill
Right, but I
older.
feel like there's a certain age where
you can say the
meat
same thing for
starts to become
cows.
less good.
You say the same thing for cows.
I don't know. The
No.
interesting thing is like hormones. Like, have you heard that
Right.
thing where like
Yeah.
if like animals are in like bad conditions, then like you inherit those like emotions that like hormones.
Well, also
Like
apparently
the
meat's just not
hormones
as
that come out
good,
of like
too.
fear and like
Yeah.
being in
Oh, yeah,
shitty
yeah.
environments, like the meat actually spoils because of
Is that why every time I eat McDonald's, I feel like shit?
They do that with
Yeah.
sushi too, and with fish. You'll see like Japanese like chefs like severing, like they don't cut the head right off. They like sever its like spine so it like dies, but it can't move, and it just like sits there and
it's
it
relaxed.
pretty much like paralyzed. And yeah, and like they'll cut both and they'll be side by side, and this fish is like all red and like marbly and bloody, and this one's like perfect because it was like not stressed out.
Yeah, exactly. No, stress, like, I think stress does things to meat.
I've heard that. I've heard that.
And then
before.
when you eat it, you take on those.
I don't know
stress.
about that part, but
I don't know. That's what I heard.
Me and Amanda were watching, Brenda's girlfriend in Tahoe. We were watching this show, Chef's Table, and the one episode was like this guy in Sweden doing this.
Yeah, it's a cool one.
Yeah, with the different like meats he gets, and he gets the retired dairy cow meat. So it's pretty much the dairy, the cow eats all cattle.
Because they live a nice long life.
Yeah, but this cow is
Stress-free.
not like regular cattle. Most cow we eat don't produce milk. Like they're just for beef.
They're just for beef, yeah.
And this is like, a retired dairy at the end of its life making milk. They'll kill it, and it's like apparently it's like a bajillion times better. I've always wanted to try it.
Yeah.
It's not like inhumane because at the end of its life and
Yeah, it's gonna die anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I would take $1 million for the chicken.
I would probably do it too.
I'll say yes.
I would just like hire Banjo or someone.
Or it's something fun to do. You go and say what up to the chickens, make sure they're all fed, and then you're good.
Yeah, and who's to say you can't make more and then just have a fuckload of rotisserie chickens?
Yeah, or you don't even need to kill them. You just use them for all the eggs.
I killed a chicken. I get good meat.
I'm gonna bring them all on the boat.
Just drop them in the
100
ocean.
chickens and me. Just.
That'd be hilarious.
Alrighty, next one, $1 million. But we just went on a tangent there.
I was about to bring up another tangent, but I decided I held back.
At the end of this, you can $1 million. But all your accounts get hacked every year for the next 20 years.
No.
Hell fucking
So
no.
every year, like just January 1st, you have to like go and get all new shit, passwords and everything.
No shot, Bucko.
No.
I wouldn't do it either.
I'd run out of fucking ideas to fuck
all your
like
emails.
Instagram accounts and like emails and shit. I'd run out of fucking ideas.
Yeah.
Then 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah,
Then 1,
yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, like
Holes Moon with 3 O's. Holes Moon with like a money sign for the S.
Yeah, no. That
maybe
one sounds
eventually
awful.
Who is would actually be available.
And then you get all your personal information jacked. No.
I ain't about
Yeah.
that.
The only thing you wouldn't get jacked would be like your social security number, but that you pretty much.
So like your Chase account would get like
pretty much all that
happens if
stuff.
you-
So all your money's gone.
No, it wouldn't be gone. Like you would just have to change. Like you'd be like, you get this notification, your shit's been hacked. Like change your shit.
What
now.
happens if your social security number gets leaked?
I think someone can steal your identity.
But like, what does that actually mean? Like, I don't know what getting your identity stolen
I don't know.
means.
Like think about it. If I have your social and I have access to your credit cards, I can essentially do anything on your behalf. So
Right,
I could
but-
do.
but
I
if
wouldn't
you
be like
just-
walking around as
if you
Ben,
just
but I
have,
could
if you
online
just
do
has,
anything
if you
as
just have the social, does that like?
It's only good if you're like a hacker and you're not like confronting anybody.
If you just have the social, it's more for like government.
I don't know what you would do
Things.
with just a social.
That's what. Yeah.
Other than if you were able to act like if I were to get your credit card and your social
Yeah, you'd be
and like
fucked.
your like other stuff, you'd be screwed.
Yeah. you'd be fucked.
yeah, you'd be done.
But like just a social, I don't know. I don't think it would be that detrimental. But you can't get another social.
That's
can
what.
you?
I don't know.
Your social is your
I
social.
don't know.
Yeah,
That's why I'm curious
I don't know.
about it because it's such an important thing.
That is interesting. I wouldn't take this, by the way. Would you
No,
guys?
No.
Yeah. All right, last
Dog
one.
water.
You get $1 billion with the B, but instead of growing hair, you now grow grass. Instead, you're a grass man now.
I'm down. I'm so
So you can like shave whatever, but literally head, legs,
I'm
arm.
allergic
you're
to
all-
grass, so
yeah,
I
like,
can't do
it
that.
grows
Yeah.
the same length as your hair does. Like it won't grow
I'm
any
allergic to
faster.
grass, so I can't do that.
I'm game.
I feel like I'd maybe be game. I would just have to be bald.
Bro, that shit.
Yeah.
that shit.
No, or you just have
sucks.
like a sick, like you have sick grass.
Bro, but your
flow.
entire body hair is just green.
That's what I'm saying. You
Well,
need
you
like
shave all
Grinch.
that. You shave
You're
all
the
that.
Grinch.
You constantly
You'd be
need
a really
to
good
doing
swimmer,
that,
bro.
though.
Yeah, you shave all that, and then you just have like sweet grass lettuce.
Just have grass on your gooch and shit. I don't-
Yeah.
I don't
No, you could get like mini lawnmowers and make it like a nice, like, like nice trim.
Crit McD could potentially make a football field.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you could like
spray paint lines.
spray paint
for
lines.
the yard
You
lines.
said mini lawnmowers.
Yeah, could you imagine just like
I didn't even think
Pull
about
the
that.
cord.
just a perfect? Yeah, you have like gardeners come and like fix you up.
We're pretty much done anyways.
Weed
I know.
cutters.
Just
Fine,
hold it,
it's
yeah.
fine with that.
Well, anything
That's
else,
an
guys?
absolute no for me. So the tangent I was gonna go on.
Yeah, tell me about
I kind of forget what we were talking about chickens, and I kind of forget what reminded me of it, but just the fact that like, so for this is the thing that was brought to my mind was I've been to the Galapagos Islands, and all the species of animals that live there migrated there, which is fucking crazy. Because like if you think about it, like sure a lot of islands broke off of mainland.
Yeah.
And that's how a lot of species got there. But at the
Like
same time,
Australia's animals are just Australia. Like,
right. Like
literally
the fact that they're migrating there, like over hundreds or thousands of miles of water, is just fucking like birds. Like a lot of the birds in the Galapagos just fucking flew, and then happened to end up in the Galapagos. And I just think that's fucking
super weird.
like why? Like why?
Yeah, what's the reason for that?
Yeah, you know.
Maybe like I don't know.
Because it's like so environmentally rich.
No, but like
Maybe
why?
birds have,
Why
like, some,
in the
like,
first
weird thing with
in the
the
first place? Why would you just start
magnetic pole of
fucking
the earth?
flying? You know what I mean?
Why did they fly?
Yeah.
Why did birds start flying?
No. Because like a lot of the species of I think all the species of birds that live in the Galapagos Islands
They migrated from there.
migrated to there from some land.
I thought it was the other way around. I thought they migrated from the Galapagos to other lands.
No.
Oh.
They all got there because they fucking flew there. And same with like fucking tortoises, I'm pretty sure. And like
Maybe, yeah, the giant tortoises are nuts there.
bro,
They're like the size of like
I've
cars.
met the oldest one in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
Was he chill?
That's
He
absurd.
was, he was,
Was
like
it chill?
the chillest thing on earth because it just
Probably
didn't fucking
doesn't
move.
Just yeah.
It was like 125 years
Cool.
old. at the time.
Maybe the birds like fly and they're like, yo, boys.
Well, it's just crazy. You know what I mean? But, like,
Yeah, come check out his place.
Come on.
what we were talking about was like, I think we were talking about like disease and like how people move because of disease, and like maybe that's why birds fucking started to fly into the sea into Galapagos, because they were all dying where they were. You know,
Possibility.
No,
Or maybe it's a seasonal thing and they like flew down to get warm and then
just kept
and then-
following something.
and then was just like sick down here.
Yeah.
Let's not leave.
certain animals like can feel the magnetic pole
Right,
of the earth and
right.
stuff.
I've heard
the
that.
actual like
I feel like they're definitely more animals.
And
like,
so like they know instinctually.
more
they'll
primal
know where
animals
they
are
go
definitely
north
more
or south.
interconnected.
Oh,
with,
yeah, right.
with the
Like
earth
shit like
itself.
that.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. Like, how do geese like
They
fly
know.
in like the formation north?
That's what I was saying. Like I think
It makes no sense.
more primal animals that can't overthink as much as we do have this natural instinct that just does what they do.
It's very
Yeah.
tuned.
You know what I mean?
Like
Yeah,
like imagine if humans had like
If we
eyes
could-
like a hawk and like sense of like that north and south and like all these other things, we'd literally be like fucking superhumans. Like,
Well, I
Like
feel like
the
it'd also
strength
be
of a
like
lion,
an
like
overload
all
of
the-
our
you know what I'm
brain. You know what I
saying?
mean? Like
Be wild.
if we had the hearing of a fucking
mouse or like whatever. I
sure
don't know,
whatever has good
fucking-
hearing, I don't know,
yeah.
but
Well,
like
you guys
eyes
know
of a
that
hawk.
if you lose your eyesight, your other senses
Right. If
get-
you lose any one of your
Yeah.
senses, they become better. Yeah.
which is insane.
Crazy.
That's nuts. Have you seen the guy who can like he like does like clicking noises? He like and he's basically got sonar.
Yes, the blind guy.
Yeah, the blind guy. He can like
Yes.
skateboard, basketball,
bat.
like
Yeah.
everything.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
he goes like
Yeah, it's
and
crazy.
based on like where his voice is getting echoed back to him, he can like see certain things.
It's nuts.
You gotta have the most. I can't even imagine that hearing.
I know.
I can't
it
even
was
imagine,
so
like,
enhanced
how-
for
yeah.
him that like he'll like
How
look
wild
at that
that
and be
is.
like, oh, there's a pole right there.
He didn't start off blind though. I'm pretty
No,
sure.
he was like he.
It was a,
could see before and-
degenerate disease.
Yeah,
Degenerative.
That's
it's
like-
nuts. But he can play basketball.
Yeah,
he
it's
can, like,
crazy. I
skateboard
watched the
perfectly.
video. It's fucking
He can like
crazy.
hit like curbs and jump off. It's like nuts. I've never seen anything like
That's
it.
the
Literally has
that's
echolocation
absurd.
as a fucking human.
As a
being.
human, yeah,
It's nuts.
He's like a bat.
Yeah.
He's like Batman.
I wonder what like food tastes like. You know what I mean? Because like if your senses all get heightened if you lose
you
one
don't
of
know
them,
what it is.
eating like the pasta must be
right?
so
Like
dang.
oh my gosh.
I mean,
Or like maybe
With the rails.
yeah, maybe it tastes bad. You never know. Like
Think?
too much. I don't know. Like too
Much
much of it might.
richness?
Yeah, you know, like
Yeah, maybe.
if you have like fucking just down your mouth with truffle, it probably doesn't taste good.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nuts though.
Yeah, we had that discussion last time, but like what
Yeah, we
sense
were
you'd rather
talking about-
lose, right?
And Radu was talking about touch.
Yeah, I had to mute Radu at the end of the podcast. He said some stuff I couldn't post. So the edit at the end of the edit, like how like.
Oh, he was saying some wild shit.
Yeah.
I remember that.
All right, I can bring up one last thing and then we'll end it because I think it's really interesting. For it's totally off subject. It has to do with alarm clocks. While alarm clocks have been around for a long time, the combination of the two is a much more recent invention. The man responsible for creating the first mechanical alarm clock, Levi Hutchins, did so as he was determined to wake up before sunrise, no matter what day it was. So it was in 1787 when he created the first alarm clock. It would chime at 4 a.m. His invention worked perfectly, for him at least. He was so happy, in fact, that he never bothered to patent his device or sell it commercially. It took another 60 years for a wind-up alarm clock to be invented and commercially sold.
Damn.
Isn't that wild?
So do you think there's someone out
What the
there
hell
who
that
has,
guy's thinking?
You think there's someone out there who has a really good invention and he's like, screw it. I'm going to be the only one in the world who's going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
No shot.
That's how he was feeling. He was like, I'm not going to let anyone wake
Right,
up
but-
at 4 a.m. This
Yeah,
is all
that-
me, baby.
yeah.
But I feel like back then money wasn't as important as it is now. You know
No.
what I mean?
Yeah.
He just probably wanted something to wake him
I
up.
feel like
Yeah.
these days, if someone comes up with a fucking crazy idea, they're like, I have to fucking patent this now and start
make $1
selling
billion.
it.
I gotta go
yeah.
on Shark Tank and get a fucking.
Well, that's just how
equity and
society
shit.
works nowadays. You create something that can contribute to the well-being of society and you get paid for it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Right. Alrighty. Well, I think that's it.
Ciao ragazzi.
Ciao, ragazzi. Thank you guys for
Yeah,
watching.
by the way, shout out to Bud Light Platinum Seltzers. In my opinion, the best seltzers in the game.
are those a new? Is that a new can?
8%.
I was about to say it says 8% and it's like a navy blue.
seltzers.
Those look kind of
It's
gas.
$9 for a 6-pack. Pretty fucking good, if you ask me.
Pretty good price.
And they get you tossed, so they
8%.
definitely
How are
get the
they
job
allowed to do
done.
that?
Yeah, I like that.
They're great.
I'm happy
They're
they
great.
did the platinums because their
Flavor's not too bad. You can taste the alcohol a little bit, but it's a good flavor too.
I like that it's like 3 different drinks. It's a Bud Light, it's their platinum brand, it's a seltzer, and then it's all in one.
Yeah.
I don't think they
It's
should have done the
absurd.
normal seltzers. I think they should have immediately gone
Gone
to
to
that. They would have
platinum.
made way more money.
I think them doing the seltzer was just getting their foot in the door. You know,
yeah.
you know what I
And
mean?
now they're
Dude,
like,
oh my God,
"Come
look
get
on the
goods."
back.
We're leveling up now.
It says 170 calories for that thing.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
I know,
a
you put
Bud
on the
Light's
weight.
like 95.
I did not realize that.
yeah, you put on
Yeah,
the weight.
that's absurd. I was glancing over
5
at
grams
it.
of carbs. I'll take it. Fuck it. Why not?
We're
No,
trying
I
to
mean,
get
yeah,
big.
we're not. Yeah, we're trying to get hefty.
Real big.
I'm trying to get light, but it's okay.
I'm trying to get light. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening and tuning in. And we will catch you next time.
Tutto bene, grazie.
Ciao.